Okay, so today is about the roster system, how you can use it, how you can have the roster system inside the member website and also in the public website. So this is my dev website. So I will show you everything from here. You have pretty much the same as I am. Now, this is the home page because we already have the roster system active. You can see in the home page there are two tables here that are both connected to the roster system. So the first one, if there is any member today that has to do the roster, so I will show up in the list over here. And if someone in the member website sign up for a roster, so decide that they want to do the roster. So we will go over here later after I explain you how the roster system works. So the roster is part of the member tab, member menu. You have two buttons, roster preference and duty roster. Before start everything, you need to start set up your roster. If you click roster preference, you will see the first form. You can just add information about your roster. It means how many volunteer, which time, which day of week, and how many hours is the roster. And in the case you have a different location, you can also set up a location. I don't know if anyone in New Zealand really add the location, but in some cases it's nice to add the location, particularly when you just move it. I have few toy libraries moved in another place, and add the location would be nice because when a member can have an email, when receive the email, they can also receive the location. So they are sure where they have to go. So in the list over here, I already have 3 different setups for my roster. So I'm open on Saturday between 9:30 and 11:30. So I added 15 because I like to have the volunteer coming a little bit before we open, but this is up to you. So you can add any type of hours here. Few toy library adding 15 minutes before, 15 minutes later. Some others, because they are open more than 2 hours, they normally have a different shift. So one in the first 1 hour and 30 minutes, and the second in another hour, 30 minutes. So everything here, it's up to you. Nothing it's mandatory. Here you can have the type of roster. We have different type of roster here. I don't know how many of you really use different one, but hi Gail.
Hi.
But we have computer. Okay, so we have different type of roster. It means a normal shift roster duty or coordinator. If, for example, a committee member wants to do the roster, they can add the roster coordinator. So it means every time a committee member has to apply for the roster. So it's a different situation and depend obviously from the toy library. Cleaning.
Would you use that roster coordinator when you don't have a paid librarian?
Yeah, can be.
Yeah.
I have a couple of toy libraries using with a toy librarian. So it means there is a toy librarian plus someone else from the committee that has to join. So in this case, only a coordinator can join on this, this setup, and it's normally for committee members. Cleaning, student, and extra. it's something that we imported from Australia and we never change. But in some cases, some toy library have a roster, I don't know, once per month, once per year to have the cleaning session. So they like to have more volunteer helping in the toy library for the cleaning. Or student, someone can join. It's different type of group, but it's up to you to use it. Most of the library are just using roster and roster coordinator, nothing else. Then you can choose the hours. It means from what time and when they have to finish. Roster day, so which day of the week you are open for that specific roster. How many hours the volunteer must have to stay in the toy library to help, and how many volunteer per each one you like to have in the roster system. So it means if you are open 3 times like mine here, you can have a Saturday 2 volunteers, Tuesday only 1, Wednesday only 1. So this is up to your organization and particularly how busy or big is your toy library. So after choose the roster over here, you will have the list here of all information. So this is the setup, and you don't really have to do anything else except that now you have to generate your calendar. So member.
Now, just one thing while you're on that.
Yep.
Day, so we have 2 available time slots for the one Saturday. So like a morning shift and then the next shift. Is that going to allow me to make 2 separate things for that?
You can add, because you are open in different time, it's not one shift altogether. You have to create the 2 of them, both Saturdays, but different hours.
Okay. Yeah.
So now in members, in the duty roster, in your case, you will have a completely empty table because you just set up the roster. In my case, I have already a lot of roster added. I will show you the face of have nothing. Probably I don't have anything from November. Yeah, so you will see that page completely empty. And what you have to do is generate your roster. So let me see if I have a few months available. September. Okay, didn't generate for October. So now I want to generate October, so the calendar for October. You can generate any time, any date, but remember that you can generate roster only when you didn't do already. So if your calendar has no October, like mine, you can generate October, November, December, January, whatever. If you have already September, you cannot generate again September because you already have it. If you make a mistake, I can show you how delete few rosters, and then you can start again. So we are generating now October. So I'm going here for 1st of October on the 31st of October, okay? I'm generating month by month, but you can do whatever you like. You can add here the 31st of December if you want. Oh, of course, if you are open until 20, you have to generate until 20. So click generate roster. There we go. 18 roster. So in the month, I'm open 18 times. Remember, I'm open 3 times per week. I'm back on my roster. If now I'm clicking from 1st of October, I will see my calendar for October, and it's obviously completely empty because no one signed up already. So in my settings, I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. Again, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the list, it's by ID over here. So you can obviously change the type of filter. So you can see by date, if you like. You can see by time, whatever you like. You can just click on the table here and have a different order. Because I have 2 volunteers on Saturday, you can see here that I have 24th of October that is double, because, and it's the same at the same times, because I want to allow 2 volunteers to come and help in the toy library. We can just come back in the roster pref. You can see I have Saturday 1 hour, but 2 volunteers, okay? All others are 2 hours, but just 1 volunteer. Come back in the duty roster, still October over here, and I have 2 Saturdays, and all others are just one spot. Now, if I am the administrator and I want to fill in already all October, so I want to add all members already inside the calendar, obviously it's about your organization in Toy Library. So I can go there and all the list will appear here of all member, active member. This list is not filtered for duty members. The list has all members active. Why is not filtered? Because someone that is not a duty member can also sign for a duty because they just want help. So we allow everyone in the roster duty system, and we don't filter for just duty members. You can see who is the duty member because there is a number here. So how many hours they need to fill in. If there is nothing, it means the member is active, but is not really a duty member. But if someone, Marie Curie, want to come and help the toy library because she's free, fantastic, click. So all duty members that must assign for a duty will have a number, and you can see it. So for example, we want Harrow, Captain America, and Bugs Bunny, all of them. So I already assigned this member for those duty. You can see there is the member ID over here in green.
Now, Daniela, how come do you use that often where you're actually setting people's roster date? We would always just let them set it themselves.
Yes, and it's fine, but some toy library, I understood that they just click and then send them an email. I assign directly your day.
Okay, so they can say at the start like what day they would prefer.
Yeah,
and then
they have in the member detail page, they already have which day they prefer to do the roster, and they just fill in everything.
Yeah.
There is another things. Someone come directly in the toy library and not going online and said, look, I'm free next Tuesday. There is any spot available? You go administration and click.
I think we'll probably still keep our paper one in the library because there is quite a lot of people that probably don't want to learn to do how to do it online. Sure. So that
because you are an administrator, you can do everything you like.
Yeah.
If you want to fill in yourself and then send an email to the members, or if you have a member come up directly in the toy library said, I want to do my duty next month, whatever. So you can do everything you want over here.
Yeah.
If one of these members is the committee member, you can change that is not a member here by clicking and you have the coordinator. There is not really a difference of a roster. It's just for you to understand that this person is part of the committee member and not a member. But apart that, there is nothing that changed in the system already. I think I have to add someone. Okay, myself.
Do you then email this to people, or does that come a bit later?
No. When you add over here members, nothing will send to the member, no emails or anything. What you can do is two things, or send directly an email from your email system, just simple email, I assign you on these days, or you can activate the roster automatic email. So a week before, they will receive an email, or 2 days before, it's up to you. They can receive an email, look, you have your roster to do it. So they can call you or send you an email, and they can say, look, I'm busy, I cannot do it, can you change me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If for some reason someone is just call you on, send you an email and said, look, I cannot come this time, can you please remove myself from the roster? You can just click over here, go on top, there is a blank spot, click, and then you will see 0 again. So it means you just remove it.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to remove the roster, you have just to deassign the person. Okay? Yeah. So now, when you have all members over here, I can go October, we are August. There we go. When I have a member that come in the toy library and do the duty, you must click complete when the duty is done. If you are not click complete, nothing will be recorded in MiBase. So the member will still have to do the duty because it's not done. So when you click complete, Catwoman will have in their member detail page the number of duty they already did. So because this one was 1st of October of August, all of them did their duty. If you don't click it, it will still in pending and nothing will be recorded in their system. Okay? Now, apart complete, you can also see approve. This approve coming from the member website. So a member go in their member website, click on the calendar and said, yeah, I want to do my duty on that day. So you will see in the home page and you will see over here. Over here, because you must have to approve the person, or otherwise someone can also ask to have a duty in the same day. We have the approved version for the member website because if someone come up and already sign manually and you didn't update the system, you have to choose which one has to do the duty. If you want to have both, but you don't have any spot here because Saturday is already filled in for both, you can decide to have 3 people and just add a duty for 1 day. So you can click a new roster. Let me see the day. Saturday 8th. Yeah, Saturday 8th of August. New roster. For the 8th, roster session, don't remember, but I think it was this one, generate 1, weekend was Saturday. You can already select a member. So one member already fill in, another member ask from the member website and you have to approve. Someone else already fill in by paper in the toy library. So you won't allow to come James Sullivan. 1 hour, member, pending, okay. Generate, back to roster. Now, on 8th of August, I will have 3 of them. One I create now. I just make a mistake on the date, but just because I don't know is an example. But another one you have to approve. Another one is already filled in. If you click approve, there we go. Now you have 3 people that will come for the Saturday, 8th of August. And only on 8th of August, because you add manually just 1. So you can add, or you can also delete a roster for a specific date anytime. The most important things to remember, if you want to delete a roster, you must deassign a person and then delete. So for example, here we go. 11th of August, I decide that I want to close. I don't want to open, so I don't need anyone come. I'm going in edit, remove the person. Ah, no, I can delete on this one. It's just the total generated that I cannot delete. Okay, I can delete this one, delete this roster. There we go. I delete the roster that was here. If you want to delete all bunch of rosters, so I don't know, all October, for example, I can go there and look August, September, October. So October is here, and I already have a person here, 1 here and 1 here. What's happening if October we decide to not open, or we want to change completely everything? So we want to delete all the calendar and generate again. I can click generate delete roster, decide here for all October, 1, 2, 31. I show you that in October we have 3 people already assigned. If I'm click delete roster, he is deleting the roster, but as you can see from the description over here, it will not delete these 3 people. So if we are going back and show only October, there we go, we still have these 3 these 3 people. Why? Because we didn't deassign these 3 before delete the bunch of roster. So what we have to do is now manually edit and delete, or click over here for all of them. There we go. Then again, if you have a lot that you forgot to remove it, October, October, delete. Okay. Back. We have no one in October. Okay. So if you want to delete just one, you can click edit and delete. If you want to have the bulk delete, you need to remove the people one by one and then delete the whole roster. And now, if you are changing the roster system, so the setup, you can generate again the new roster for October. There are few toy libraries that normally change the roster every terms. So every terms they generate the roster, delete the roster setup, create again the new roster setup, and generate again for a new terms. It's definitely up to you. You can do whatever you like in the roster system. There is no mandatory information that or setups that you have to do it. So you can do whatever you like. So now, this is the roster system. We already have a lot of people sign in here. We can add more just to have a calendar. Okay, we still have another person here to approve.
What's
Now,
the point of approving them?
I tell you before, when you have a member website, people can click to have the roster in the specific day. But you have to approve because you have to check if someone else already signed by paper.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you have to decide which one you want, or you have to add another one to approve all of them.
Okay.
So now we want to go in the Catwoman to see if the system already record the duty that she did. If we are going here, click, we can scroll down and we have the roster. As you can see, the 1st of August is one that I click complete and is complete. So Catwoman has, which membership has 3 months trial. So the required was just 2 hours. She already did 2 bookings, 1 hour each. So to complete 0, she's fine. Okay. This membership is only for 3 months. You can see here it's only for 3 months. So the duty was 2 hours in the membership time, so 3 months. And you can see here she already completed, so she don't have to do anything else. If Catwoman want to do more, she always allowed to. I will add another row over here in the future. So for example, if we are adding again Catwoman here, somewhere in the Catwoman, here we go, recorded, click again, there we go. We have another row over here, is not completed, there is a button completed. Yes, you can also click completed from the member page or duty page. It's up to you where you are. So to allocate, it's -1. So it means this person is already asked to have more duty that was due. In fact, booked or completed 3 hours. Required is always 2, and to complete is always 0 because she already done. She just going to do more hours.
Just one question while we're on that topic.
Yeah.
If with our library, if our members do an extra desk duty over and above what they're required, we like to give them a $5 credit. Is there a way to add that automatically, or would we have to go into member payment and add it like?
No, because it's a very specific function of payment. So what you have to do is just create a payment option, go in the payment system, so click payment and add the credit when she is doing or he is doing more roster.
Okay.
So now this is the roster. In the member list, you can also have roster due columns. If we are looking now Catwoman, you will see the roster due is 0. When you click complete on the new one that she want to do more than was due, you will see over here another 1 hour. So for example, I have, there we go, -4. So Hulk already did the more, 4 hours more than was due. The red one is always a negative. So it means the member must have to do other 7 hours. This one must do other 9 hours and whatever they like. Okay. Now in the roster, so we did the roster preference and setup, then we add the calendar. Now I can show you the member website. So the member website will give you the idea how a member can click for a roster. Let me open the member website. the meantime, any question? No?
So
Everything
the bit there where you've got, and I suppose you're going to come back to it, but I'm just going through what I do in my roster. When you've got the export up there to PDF,
yep,
that goes up in a nice format that you could print off and have in front of you.
yes, there are, so in the roster calendar here, you can download the PDF and the Excel, but the export PDF, I can show you, it's not really a nice view. Yeah, it's a table. So you can use this one, has some already fill in and all spot to fill in. Or there is also a report that you can use to download the roster calendar. So if you are going on the here, reports, roster with the date range. So here you can decide to download just August.
Mm-hmm.
Click open. Okay. There we go. So here is not really a table or calendar. It's just a list for each day, which person already signed in with all information. I know a couple of toy library, they fill in all the roster, and then they send it to everyone.
That's what we
here, because there is all information about everyone, so you can just send them the information. If they have to switch the roster due with another person, they have all contact and phone numbers.
Yeah, that's what we do. So
are you allowed to do that though? Because that's sending someone's information.
They sign when they join on our form. It says the working member, you allow us to send this through, but it will only be for that one purpose. To the other people, So it's only going to the working people who are on the roster on that term. I'll just show you, Daniela, how my roster, when I pull it off, so I can see visually what I'm doing. Oh, no, hang on, let me see if I can turn it so I can see what I'm showing you. Turn the screen, maybe.
I can see your paper.
Can you? Are you looking at me at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very easy to see, actually.
Can you see? No, you can't see. I might screenshot it to you and just show you, so I can visually. Then I can. That's how I sort of do it, so I can visually see on the week, Wednesday, Saturday, easily who's doing what. But that's cool. That's cool. The other one's quite a good report. I can work with that.
So you can choose different report. As you can see, the empty spot are still here, so you can manually fill in and then record in the system. And you can also send an email to everyone with this PDF and said, look, we still have some spot left. So it's up to you how to organize your toy library, but MiBase give you everything by paper or by member website, everything to the members. So now I want to show you the member website. Let me change the screen. Why? Let me see this one. Okay. Can you see the member website now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the member website. I'm login as a Captain America. If I'm click login, I will see in my library already the roster that I asked to do it. It's obviously future, it's not the past. So I can see that on 8th of August, I'm in the roster. And in 19th of August, I'm also in the roster. So there is a difference between here. First, here I cannot delete my roster because it's happening soon. And here I can delete my roster because it's in the future. So it's more than a week. When it's more than a week, I'm allowed to delete. When it's not more than a week, I'm not allowed to delete. So this person has to call you and said, look, I'm not able, blah, 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 and you can manage.
Daniela, will that, if they delete that in the future one,
yeah,
will that then send us some kind of notification or something to say that?
No,
because
there's no notification. You will see in the calendar that the spot is empty.
So then what's gonna stop me, because I don't know that this person deleted their roster by themselves? I'm just gonna go back in and be like, oh, this is still empty. I'm gonna add this person. How do I know who tried to remove themselves? I might end up adding that same person over and over.
Yeah, there is not really any email, but we can add in our wish list for a next update. So we can add an email, an administration email said that this person delayed the duty. Yeah, we can add in our wish list.
Because otherwise, there's no record other than from that one person. So unless they messaged us to say, I've actually deleted myself for this date, but can you add me somewhere else? Then we don't know that they've done that.
So the only way is to lock your calendar and see the blank spot.
Yeah.
But we can add an email, an administration email when someone deletes the duty. So it's something that we can add.
Yeah.
So if I'm now in the roster page, as you can see, there is all the calendar that I have in my administration. So if I'm scrolling, I will see until October. There we go, 30th of September, because we delete October. So now there are a lot of empty spots. You can see there is button. So I can choose 5 of September and click. So now on 5 of September, I can see delete here and delete here. So I can see that is my spot. Then here on 8th of August, I have my name here, but it's on red because the administrator doesn't really click already on the approve button. So it's still on pending. So now I'm coming back in the administration website and I want to show you in the home page that you have Captain America in September. Here we go, 5th of September, that asked to have a duty. So I have both Captain America to approve. What I have to click is go to duty page, and it will go on the duty page. I have to scroll, and there is a couple of approve for Captain America. So I just have to click approve over here. Okay, so I approved the one that was in August. If I'm coming back in the member website and refresh the page, no, I have to log out. Log out. America. There we go. Roster. Which one I approved? Here. Still red. Interesting. I approve it. This one is black. I have to check why it's still red. But here, now there are 3 of them because I asked to have more duty. Still, because it's more than a week, there is the delete button that the member can use it. So this is the member website. If in your settings you decide to have the calendar in your public website, this is your public website. If you have the roster on your public website, you will see over here. No one can do anything in the public website. It's just to show you how many people are coming for each day and if there are blank spots. So if a person is not really using the member website, they still able to see the calendar, see here blank spot, call you, or when they come in the toy library, ask you to fill in their name here. So not doing anything online, just looking at the calendar over here and look what is the date, how many people they will come, or how many blank spots they have. So there are names over here, just the first name, not the surname. You can, in your setup for the public website, decide if you want to show the name or the ID. So to have more privacy, you can just show the member ID, so people cannot see really a name. They can just see that the spot is already filled in. Or you can decide to disable the view of the roster in the public website. You can also decide to disable the roster in the member website. So it's up to you how you want to use the roster system, just in administration, also in the member website, or also in the public website. So everything is in your settings. So you can, in the administration, click setup. You have member settings over here and public settings over here. For member settings, if you are searching for roster, you have a few settings for the roster in your member website. So the top menu one, do you want a roster function in the member website? You can choose yes or no. Do you want exclude the member coordinator for roster? No, it's fine. Or member private. So do you want to show names on the member website or just the ID? No, I don't want, I want to show names. So no is not hiding a member name. So it means it will show the member name. Do you want to auto approve the roster? So you can decide to not click approve in each roster that member is clicking in the member website, but here, no or yes. So you can choose that the system will approve automatically everyone. It's again up to you to decide your settings in your system. In the public website, you have the same situation. You are looking for roster. In the join now form, do you want the roster preference so people can fill in which day they are open to have the roster? Roster page, do you want to show members' names? Again, you can choose. No, I will see only the ID. Yes, you will see ID and name. Top menu item, do you want the page in your member public website? Yes. So again, this is up to you to use whatever you like. Okay, any question?
So I have one. So when you put in your the roster preference under the membership, and they've said they only want like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then you come in to make up the roster and you've got that whole list of all those people, whether they are roster people or not.
Yeah.
Can you see on there whether their preference is only a Wednesday or a Saturday, or do I have to keep looking back to see what their preference is?
Unfortunately, you in the list here, you can only see number of hours.
Hours, not the preferred day.
Not the preference.
Okay.
And let me see. No, you cannot really see any preference.
Okay.
I'm looking. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, forgot that. 8th of Saturday. Saturday. Yes, you can see it.
Okay, so it's showing up when it's been clicked, that's preferred. Okay.
Yeah. I remember there was something. So yes, this one I want Monday and Wednesday. When there is nothing, it means no one really set up any preference.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, I forgot that was here. Any other question?
Yeah, Ashburton's got a question.
Yeah, there we go.
We used to allocate our members 2 sessions a year for their duties.
Yeah.
So that meant they had to come in on 2 different days to help us out, which totaled at 2 hours each. So
no, two 2 hour sessions, so 4 total.
Yeah, so it'll be a total of 4 hours. So now when we're setting up our members, should we change it now to required duties is actually 4 hours?
So the roster system already work only in hours, not in session.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we wondered. So we should change our wording to, we want you to do 4 hours
You
total.
definitely have to.
Yeah.
Because in some toy library, they ask for session and not hours. Some members are confused because the system is only calculating by hours, not session. So you definitely have to change wording by, look, you must have to finish 2 sections in total of 4 hours.
Right.
So it means you have to really explain them that the session is also number of hours.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
We'll change our wording to make that work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because
Cool.
remember, the number of hours a member must have to do, it's in your membership page. In the membership page, duties here, it's number of hours. It's not session. So this member is a committee member, must have 10 hours for the long period of the membership. That in this case is 12 months. So remember that this one, it's hours all the time.
Okay. All right, so change that. Right, thank you. Makes sense to us now. Yeah.
Any other question?
Yeah. So stock take at the end of the year. So some of the memberships would include that you needed help with that. Would we just make a separate, when you make your December or November month, that's going to have the stock take in it, would you then just make another desk duty roster kind of thing for that thing?
Okay, I know a couple of toy libraries create a roster group extra.
Yeah.
And it's normally for the stock take.
Yeah.
And they like hours, 2-3 hours, and like 20 volunteers.
Is it hard for you to actually put a roster group there that says stock take? Because surely that's something that's used quite often.
Yeah, I can add another roster group. It's not a problem.
Just so that it's very clear for the members, because they do often get confused.
Because the stock take is normally for one time during the year or 2 days.
So that might be like a 2-hour shift, and that's once a year.
Yeah, so you can click in the member duty roster. You can add one roster only. Yeah. And you can add the date. Here you can have a different type. We can definitely create a roster group like stock take.
Yeah.
And pending also in the comment here, we are doing the stock takes or whatever. So the comment will show up in the email, the automatic email.
Yeah. Well, we might write like compulsory for active members or something like that.
Yeah, it depends on your rules, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can definitely add number of generate, so how many members can sign. If you have a stock take, I don't know, on 20th of December, or when you are close after Christmas, you can add the date and then generate, I don't know, 10 or 20. So you know that you
it's going to be like, it normally runs for like a period of like 2 weeks. So I'd have to actually do it as a calendar.
Yeah, in this case, you have to delete all roster pref, create one roster pref for each day you want to create the stock take, and then generate between the weeks that you want to do the stock take.
Yeah.
Then after finish to generate, delete again the roster pref and create again for the new year of the roster pref. Or if it's just 1 or 2 days, just generate from here, and you can generate as many you want from for only 1 day or 2 days, whatever.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely add the calendar, the group stock take. It's very often used.
Yeah.
Any other question?
Yeah, we've just thought of another one actually. So sometimes in the future, we might be getting just a random volunteer coming for, say, from an organisation to come in and fill some of our duty sessions in, and they won't be a member. They might just come in, say, 4 times or 8 times or something. Okay. How can we put them in the roster without making them as a fake member?
We don't have anything like that. And we already have in our wish list to add a non-member in the calendar.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So the idea is to have, because we already received one person tell me that, in the duty roster here, you will have another column like a text input, or just another column here with the non-member name. So in the edit, you can add the person has just a simple text edit. So not a member, but you know there is a name over here, and you will see the column over there. For now, some toy library are creating a fake member and then use all the time and add in the comment, because if you click edit over here, you have the comments here. Who was the company, who was the name, and
okay.
But they use a fake member. So it's not really something perfectly fine, but we have the plan to create another situation like that.
Okay, cool. So wait, yeah.
So for now, the only way is create a fake member and then add in the comment.
And the comments who it was, which organisation they were from or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
We will improve.
Thanks. Yeah.
Any other question or improving that you want? Ooh, nothing else. Okay. Okay, ladies, if there is nothing else, duty, I think I already show you everything here. And I think, just let me see if I can tell you another couple of things about the roster. This one doesn't, yeah. So in the member stat, you can also see how many hours of duty a member did in all their life in the toy library. So for example, if I'm clicking here, I can see that I have 58 hours for Captain America. But remember, Captain America joined on 2018. So in 2 years, almost 2 years, he did a lot of hours. It's just for you to understand really who is very kind to help. It's just a statistic. And also in the daily stat, you will see July. There we go. You will see in the daily stat, day by day, who is coming, who already did a duty, a roster duty during this session. So you have a lot of people here in the list. And if you have more than one, you will see here more than one. So every time you are open, if there is just one loan in the session, you will see the row and all information about the session. If there is no loan and nothing returned, nothing will be recorded over here. But if you have just one, you can have all information. And also you have the amount of money received in that day. But this one gives you the list of all roster. Okay, I think now it's definitely everything about roster. No question? No more question. Okay, we're done for today. We can see next week for next webinar. Okay?
Thank you.
Bye-bye to everyone.
Thanks.